Very good morning, children. Welcome to today's biology class. And today we'll discuss the new subtopic, that is about animalia we will learn. Okay, we're coming to this animal kingdom. Animalia mostly they are eukaryotic organisms. That means they possess the nucleus. Okay, and they're also heterotrophic. That means they cannot synthesize their own food, so they depend on the others. So next one, they do not have any cell wall. Okay, we studied that plant cell possess the cell wall, whereas animal cell will not possess any cell wall. Okay, yes, mostly these animals are mobile. Mobile in the sense they're movable. They'll move from one place to other for the shelter, for the food, and for to meet the mates. Okay, these are the main characteristic features of this animalia. They are eukaryotic organisms and they are heterotrophic in nature and they don't have any cell wall and they are mobile in nature. And almost all these organisms are multicellular organisms. Very few, that is an protozoans, are an unicellular organisms. Okay, yes. So before going deep into this animal kingdom, and we learn some scientific terminology. So if you learn the terminology, and so it will be easy for you to write, no need to write the entire description. Okay, yes. So first see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 terms are given. Okay, yes. What are that 8 terms? Let me explain that. First one is diploblastic, or we can also say that diploblastic. Diploblastic or diploblastic. The meaning for this diploblastic organism is that these organisms, they have 2 layers. That means the cells are arranged in these animals in 2 layers, outer layer and an inner layer. Okay, so the cells are arranged in the 2 layers. The outer layer is called as an ectoderm layer and the inner layer will call it as an endoderm layer. Okay, yes. So next one is a tri. Maybe you know these words in maths, maybe you come across these words. Mono means 1, di means 2, tri means 3, tetra 4, penta 5, hexa 6. I hope you remember these words, terminology. Okay, di means 2 layered and tri means 3 layered. Triploblastic or triploblastic organisms, either tri or trip. Okay, triploblastic organisms. In these organisms, the cells are arranged in the 3 layers. Okay, obviously outer, inner and a middle layer. Outer layer is called as an ectoderm and inner layer is called as an endoderm and the middle layer will call it as a mesoderm. So what are these layers? How it will be arranged in the sense means, in the embryonic stage we can say like this: outer layer ectoderm, and this is an middle layer mesoderm, and this is an innermost layer. Okay, outer is ectoderm. Okay, this is middle is mesoderm and this inner is endoderm layers. So like this, in the layers these cells are arranged. Such an organism will called as triploblastic organisms or triploblastic organisms. Okay, the next terminology is bilaterally symmetrical. What is the word explained here? Bilaterally symmetrical. Okay, let me say some positions and in organisms. What are those positions means? For example, if you take this as an just took the mobile here. Just we'll identify some the positions for this mobile. Okay, so this is called as dorsal side. This is the dorsal side of my mobile or the organism. Just if you think any earthworm is there here, this is a dorsal. And this one is ventral. This is dorsal, this is ventral side. Okay, yes. So, and if you come to this side, these sides will call it as a lateral sides. These sides will call it as lateral side. Okay, if you cut this animal in this lengthwise like this, lengthwise if you cut this, and we'll call it as a longitudinal wise, longitudinal length, or we can also say VS, vertical. These are the terminology you have to learn in the biology classes, children. So this is a vertical direction or the longitudinal direction, longitudinal section we can say. These are called as a lateral sides, lateral. Okay, this is dorsal, ventral, lateral. This position is called longitudinal, or we can call say vertical. And if you cut this organism in this way, horizontal or transverse, round, entire organ we are cutting like this, no? The transverse section we can say. Okay, yes. So this position is called, where this the mouth is situated, that particular position, anterior region we can say, anterior. Okay, this is a posterior region. Starting region, end region. Okay, don't forget that. Okay, this is a dorsal, ventral, lateral sides, anterior side and the posterior side. Is it clear, children? Yes. Okay, now we can say that bilaterally. What is the meaning of this bi? Bi means two. Two in the sense here both the sides. What are those both sides? Just now I said the both sides are that is what we can call it as ventral side as well as the dorsal sides. Both the sides means ventral and dorsal. Okay, so bilaterally symmetrical or dorsiventrally flattened. Okay, yes. Let me say first dorsiventrally flattened, children. So dorsiventrally flattened means what? First the dorsal side as well as the ventral side. In both the sides it will be just like a flat in nature. Those organisms will call it as dorsiventrally flattened organisms. Am I clear to you, children? Dorsiventrally flattened organisms. Maybe you have an idea about the ribbon. Ribbon, did you see any time? The ribbon organisms we can say, ribbon animals. Especially tapeworm is there. The tapeworm structure is just so flat. Children, all these specimens are there in our biology laboratory in the school, children. As once the school is opened, we will observe. We have to study that the specimen, and we have to see, by seeing the it is not given the labelings. By seeing that particular specimen, you have to identify what is that organism, in which group it will be, what are the main characteristic features. That is the practical work you have to do. Okay, yes. So the dorsal side as well as ventral side, it has a flat in nature, and so those organisms are called as an dorsiventrally flattened organism. Example for those organisms is, both the sides I said, no, those organisms is a Platyhelminthes. Okay, and these animals we can also call as, when they're dorsally ventrally flat, and they're called as flatworms. The flatworms, or we can also say that they are the ribbon worms. Just like as a ribbon, how the ribbon it will be so flat, exactly like this these worms will be present. Okay, yes. Now come to the bilaterally symmetrical. What is the meaning of this bilaterally symmetrical? Bi means two. When you cut the organism, both the sides, that means we can say like this. If you cut the organism like this is the right side and this is the left side. Right body design is similar to left body design. Such an organisms, equally it is having the two equal halves. When the body is separated or cut equally into two equal halves, we can see the right body design. The right body design is similar to left. Obviously, you can say, for example, the right eye. Here it will be the left eye, like that. Equally, the body will be divided, two equal halves. Such an organisms will call it as bilaterally symmetrical organisms. Is it clear? Yes. So the next one is dorsiventrally cylindrical. Just now I said dorsiventrally flattened organisms, and as some organisms are dorsiventrally cylindrical. Cylindrical in the sense they are round, just like earthworm. Just how roundworms also we can call them. Okay, both the sides they will be in the round, cylindrical in position or shape, and they are round in shape. Such an organisms we will call it as a dorsiventrally cylindrical organisms. Okay, children? Yes. So, and the next term is given here, coelomate. Coelomates. This spells C-O-E-L-O. C-O-E-L-O-M-A-T-E-S. But I am pronouncing coelomates. O is silent here. We should not pronounce the O. Okay, coelomate. But while you are writing, you have to write the O. Otherwise, it will be the wrong. Coelomates we can say. Actually, what is this term coelomate explains? It means empty space, body cavity. There is a cavity inside the body or in between the organism. See, so in between the outer layer and the middle layer, gap is there. No? Like this, in between the body cavity of the body wall of the organism and internal parts, they have the some gap. For example, if you cut the cockroach, we can see like this. Okay, this is an outer pericardial layer inner like this. See, can you see? This is an outermost layer like this. Okay, cockroach this is outer layer, inner layer like this. Okay, pericardium like that there is a, but no need. Only space I want to show. This particular space is there, no? The gap. That particular gap we'll call it as a coelom. Okay, so what this coelom space how it will be filled means it is filled with the fluid. That fluid is called as a coelomic fluid. Okay, yes, if you come to the earthworm, outer layer and inner layers in between the nerve cord, there will be the total, the body has a space. Cylindrical, no, hollow tube like center, it is attached to the nerve cord. That space is filled with what? Coelomic fluid. That is the reason when earthworm is doing this creeping movements, when it's moving forward, as the total body has a pores, dorsal pores. And through this dorsal and the ventral pores, what will happen? The fluid, it comes out. That is the reason it will be so sticky. So what is this the mucus or the fluid, it will be comes out, and that protects the earthworm from the sun or the aestivation time. That is whenever the summer is more. So without, see, earthworms, they will not come out. They will be stay inside only. During the rainy seasons only they will come out. Okay, yes, they protect their body, otherwise they will die. Okay, so that's the other topics, children. That is about the dorsiventrally cylindrical. Am I clear to you, children? There's 8 definitions we studied. First one is the diploblastic 2-layered organisms, triploblastic 3-layered organisms, and dorsiventrally flat, and both the sides it has a flat in nature. Dorsiventrally cylindrical, both the side cylindrical in nature or round in nature. Okay, bilaterally symmetrical. When we cut the organism, we'll get the 2 equal halves. Otherwise, you can also say like that. The right body designs of the organism is similar to the left body designs of the organism. Okay, coelom. Coelomate means what? Coelomates. When they have the space inside that, we'll call them as coelomatic organisms. Some organisms, we don't find any gap in between body organ to other parts. So if they don't have any gap, such an organisms will call them as acoelomates. Only have to add word A, letter A. Acoelomates. Acoelomates in the sense there is no space. They don't have any space. Coelomates means they have the space in body cavity, and they don't have any space. Acoelomates. In some organism, that space it will be very reduced. So a coelom means this much. They don't have any coelom, no gap, and some they have the gap. So that they have the reduced coelomic cavity. Reduced, that means small space only present in those organisms, and those organisms will call them as pseudo-coelomates. Am I clear to you? Coelomates means they have space. Acoelomate means no space. Pseudo-coelomates means either you can say false, it looked like that, but there's no space. Okay, pseudo in the sense false, it comes, no false space. Otherwise you can say reduced, very less, very little space we will observe in these organisms, and they are called as a pseudo-coelomates. Is it clear, children? So whenever you are studying about the animal kingdom, and when they'll give only the one specimen in front of you, and they'll say sometimes they may give the phylum Porifera. So you have to write all the characteristic features. It's a diploblastic, coelomatic organism, or where it lives, aquatics. That's what I given. No? Eukaryotic or multicellular or heterotrophic, or aquatic organisms or terrestrial organisms. All these are the characteristic features of the organism, animals. As they live on the land. Now no need to write. If you write this terminology, it is enough. Aquatic, obviously they'll understand. Water, they'll give the mark like that. Pseudo-coelomates. No need to write that they have the less space or reduced space like that. Is it clear? Yes. So now we'll start what are the different organisms, phylums comes under the animal kingdom. In animal kingdom, mostly based on the vertebral column, it is classified into two groups. When they possess the vertebra, they are called as vertebrates. When they does not possess any vertebral column backbone, and they comes under the invertebrate. And this classification also I said already in online class for you. Based on the cell, unicellular, multicellular. Okay, based on birth, oviparous, viviparous. Vertebral column, invertebrates, vertebrates. By the neck, chordates and then non-chordates. Like that, organisms are categorized. Organisms which does not possess vertebral column, does not possess, when it does not possess the vertebral column, and what we see in the sense vertebral column, when they do not possess the vertebral column, we place them in invertebrates. Okay, around 9 phylums are there, 8 phylums are there. We have to study about all this. First starts with the Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Nematihelminthes, annelids, arthropods, molluscans, echinodermata. All these phylums you have to study. Children, once again I am reminding you, this particular topic is deleted for your board exam, but we are not preparing for the exam right now. You are learning the concept. I said the entire lesson is standard GK. Whatever competitive exam you write for the civils or MSET and whatever exams you will write, they'll ask this from the bio part. They'll ask this particular type of the questions only. Sedentary. What are the sedentary organisms? They will not move. Diploblastic. Like that, these are all the fundamental children. The basics of the not only for the biology subject, for your general knowledge I can say. Okay, then that's the reason. Don't miss to watch the video and learn the concept. Learning concept is important. It should not keep in your mind 2020 batch, because of the coronavirus we did not learn that particular topic. So you are very fortunate. We are here to, even though we will cover the deleted topics very faster and comfortable way, and then we will concentrate on the topics what are there for your board exam. Exams time definitely we will concentrate on what are there for the exams. Now you have to study all these things. Okay, this is my advice. Please follow that. Okay, yes. So whereas coming to the first phylum is a Porifera. Okay, all these are the Greek terminologies, children. So what is the meaning of this Porifera? Porifera in the sense the total organism have the holes or the pores. See, these are all called as the holes, we can say. They have the total body. The total body of this Poriferan, they have the pores. These are called as pores. Okay, yes. Mostly these organisms are sedentary. What is the word I said? Sedentary organisms. Sedentary in the sense they are non-mobile, non-motile. They cannot move. Okay, see here. See where they are attached. They are attached to any one rock or any strong support or any substratum. Either that is an animal or the wood or rock, whatever is available in the water. There they will attach us and they will live. These animals will call it as a sedentary animals. They are non-motile animals. Okay, Porifera. Porifera means what I said, and holes are pores all over the body. As the organism has a holes, what will happen? As it's living in the marine waters, through the holes, what will happen? The water enter inside. Okay, and the water enter inside and through the canal system. And through the canal system, what will happen? The food as well as an oxygen, and it takes to the inner parts of the body. Through these pores, the food and an oxygen, it will be take inside and through this canal system. Okay, and let me just finish it fast, children. They lead the canal system and this circulates the water as well as along with that what else? The food and an oxygen also it takes inside. Okay, yes. So mostly these organisms they have covered with a hard skeletal system. Hard skeletal system. Usually olden days the dead body of this poriferans they used to use for the cleansing agent, like as a soap. How you are using nowadays Santur and all. The olden days we don't have that. as they used to take hard skeleton of this organism and they used to scrub the tissue of the body. Okay, not only olden days, now right now these days also we are using fuming stones. If your mothers are, if you have any have the crack on the foot and we are using the fuming stone, that fuming stone is made up of with the outer skeleton of this sponges. It is a hard skeleton. Okay, it is covered, the hard layer it is covered with an hard skeleton, and then whereas coming to this particular organism, they have minimal differentiation. Minimal differentiation means we don't find the body has divided like as a head, neck, trunk and abdomen. There we don't find anything. Those in chordates only we'll see like that. See, did you find anything here in the body? There's no shape, there's no mouth, no trunk, all this. Minimal differentiation or we'll see, but inside there will be the division about in the tissues. Okay, yes. So example for these organisms are sponges, cycon and euplectilla. Three diagrams is given, you draw one diagram, it will be enough. Spongilla, euplectilla as well as this and cycon. Okay, let me explain the second phylum. That second phylum is about the Coelenterata. Coelenterata. So spelling is Coelentar. But we are here we did not pronounce the O. As exactly like before coelom how you read like that. Coelenterata. Okay, don't say it's a Coelenterata. O we should not pronounce, you have to pronounce Coelenterata. Whereas coming to the Coelenterata organisms, these are also mostly marine organisms, marine habitats. Okay, they live inside the salty water, seas and the ocean. And whereas coming to the one organism to an organism, the complexity of the organisms are increasing. Okay, if you come to this, the complexity of this organism, it will be little bit more we can say. Example for these organisms is Hydra children, Hydra and an sea anemone. Okay, these are the two-layered animals. Two-layered means what you can say? They are the diploblastic organisms. They don't have any body cavity. They are coelomates. No body cavity, coelomates. They have the three layers. We'll call two layers. We call it as a diploblastic organism. Sometimes these animals they live in the colonies. Okay, if you go for the sea, we can see coral reefs. They say all they live like as a group. Colony means what? Many people will live together. Colonies are good, no? We have many friends and all, just like as an apartment types, colonies. Some animals in the coelentrates, they are in isolatory. Isolatory in the sense we can say that they are in solitary forms. Isolate in the sense separate. They live individually. Individually they live. Example for that is a sea anemone. Okay, if you come to the Hydra, the body is cylindrical. Obviously they'll attach us to the substratums and they have the finger-like projections. The finger-like projections we'll call it as an, these are called the tentacles. The tentacles have the sting-like structures and these sting cells, this we'll call it as the sting cells. Okay, and they have the mouth and we can see two layers I said, no, this is a two-layered animal, no? Outer layer and middle mesoderm is there, mesoglia. They have the mesoglia and the digestive system and the layers are there. This is mesoglia. Okay, they labeled all these parts in your diagram and textbook diagram. This is see that these are the sting cells and they have the mouth. Okay, so this complexity of this organism is increased. The minimal differentiation it is increased in this organism. This is an Hydra. Okay, the next example for this coelenterate is an sea anemone. Sea anemone mostly is attached to the best example for the symbiotic organism, sea anemone. Okay children, that's all for today's class and I gave the definition for all this tough terminology and I covered two phylums, that is one is Porifera and Coelenterata. Draw two diagrams. Even I will forward these key points. Then you write it in the notebook and submit. I hope maybe we'll finish by the time the CDs. This is okay. So you can do this particular work. Okay, children. Have a nice day. Stay safe at home. Enjoy your day. Bye.